I want everybody to pay attention to who is supporting descheduling marijuana with regulations and who is saying they don't want it descheduled at all. Because most of the people that are saying they don't want marijuana descheduled are those who support Big Pharma. Please pay attention to that. We've got some people out here who claim to support alternative, safer, healthier medications, but they're not doing what they say. They're just saying that. Watch who they support. People like Fred Upton, who sits here and says that he supports children's alternative medicines, but he supports Big Pharma. Why? Because in his eyes, it brings him money to Michigan. Same with Gretchen Whitmer. There's also a lot of other people who have historically voted pro Big Pharma that you should pay attention to when you're looking at our politicians. This is not a political issue, really, if in my eyes. It's more an issue of religion, which tells me that these guys are overstepping their bounds. You don't have a right to tell anyone what they're allowed to and not allowed to do in accordance with the Bible. You're violating my right to religious freedom when you do that. Marijuana is an herb, and it's listed because of that in Genesis 1:11 through I think it's 1:18. It clearly lists what is created by God in reference to what we're allowed to consume. And marijuana is a natural herb. The fact that we as people know how to process it in a way that makes it able for us to naturally use it for medication purposes is a beautiful thing. That's why God created it, was for us to use it. It's not the same as opioids or cocaine or other illicit drugs that cause such terrible damage to your body quickly and kill people. They cause cancer and other things. Marijuana helps cure cancer, according to real actual studies. It helps with epilepsy and other serious ailments that cause people long-term problems, especially where pain is concerned. And for people to not support descheduling marijuana it's inhumane, especially knowing that it's also a religious issue. For those of you who are pastors out there who are saying, no way, we don't support that, please remember that it's historically correct and biblically correct to support man's law, even though we know it's not biblical, until we can appropriately change it. That doesn't mean that you go in people's faces and disrespect them with marijuana. It doesn't mean that you go shove it down their throat, because that's not our purpose. My purpose is to educate people and try to find a way to positively make a transition from a country that went from being having illegal marijuana to a country that's transitioning into descheduling and legalizing it. We need to be smart about it and be safe with it in order to make the most positive transition that we can, not just as individuals, but as a country as well, especially when we have an opportunity to use it for so much good, not just here in America, but around the world. So changing our attitudes towards it, and then noticing the people who are supporting Big Pharma and telling them, hey, that's not okay. That's not what I support as one of your constituents. And I wish you'd stop that. You know, that makes a big difference with these people. They're supposed to go with what the majority of the people say. They're not supposed to go do things like paying people to go march and rally and pretend that they support stuff they don't support. And I'm not saying that's what's going on, but we've had a history with some of these politicians in doing that. So it's time to be truthful and honest and to stop putting money in the way of what's righteous with God's love. We have so many people that have sacrificed for our country and for our Constitution. It's really a shame to see what's going on right now, especially when me as a Native American, I'm 3/4 Native American, and that's documented by blood. Me as a Native American, I'm looking at this country, it's mine. And these people who are trying to run it, they've never consulted with any of us Native Americans, not one drop. We want a free country. We want a country where everybody's equal, but respectably, with God's love. God bless America. Have a blessed day. And back the badge.